Good morning, Sairam students, and welcome back once again. Welcome to the part third of Geography, chapter number fifth, that is water. Students, in previous session, we have discussed about important major water bodies of the world, right? Now, in this session, we are going to discuss about ocean circulation. So, today's our topic is ocean circulation. So, let's start. So, movement of the ocean water. So first of all, children, as we know that oceans are very large water bodies surrounding the continents, and there are four main oceans on the surface of the earth, right? Now these are, first one is the Pacific Ocean, next one is the Atlantic, then Indian Ocean, and the next one is the Arctic Oceans, right? Now, unlike the calm waters of ponds and lakes, ocean water keeps moving continuously. It is never still. Basically, these oceans have a moderating effect on the climate of coastal areas of the continents. And as I said, the ocean water is never still. So, the movement that occur in the oceans can be broadly categorized as, first one is waves, second one is tides, and the third one is the ocean currents. Clear? So, its movement can be categorized as, first is waves, second is tides, and the third one is the ocean currents. And do you know, these movements are caused due to the difference in temperature, salinity of water, that means salt water, and the prevailing winds. Clear? Okay, now let's discuss all these three about the waves, tide, and ocean currents one by one. So let's start with the first, waves. So, what is waves? When surface water of the oceans rises, right? When surface water of the ocean rises and falls alternately, they are called waves. Clear? So, when the surface of water of the oceans rise and then falls alternately, they are called waves. Now, these are caused by the action of winds, right? These are caused by the action of wind, which pushes the water in an up and down movement. So, the waves that travel in the direction of the wind. Clear? Just note down this point. The waves travel in the direction of the winds. And second thing is the shape, and we can say the height of the waves. The shape and the height of the waves depend on the speed of the wind. Why? Because waves travel in the direction of the wind. That's why the height of the waves depends on the speed of the wind. Right? Now, the next thing is a light breeze produce gentle waves. Right? A light breeze produce gentle waves while a strong wind cause huge waves. And these huge waves cause tremendous destruction. Clear? Okay. Now, second thing is during the storm. During storm, the winds blowing at very high speed, right, form very huge waves. During a storm, the winds blowing at very high speed form huge waves, and these may cause again tremendous destruction. So, and earthquake, volcanic eruption, underwater landslides can shift large amounts of ocean water, and as a result, huge tidal waves. Huge tidal waves called tsunami. huge tidal waves called tsunami that may be as high as 15 meter is formed. Clear? So the giant waves like the tsunami are caused by earthquake or volcanic eruption on the ocean floor. These waves travel at a great speed and cause widespread damage all along the coastal regions where they strike. And do you know the tsunami of 2004 caused widespread damage in the coastal areas of India? The Indira Point in the Andaman and Nicobar Island, as we know that it is the southern part of India, so it's a southernmost point of India. The Indira Point, in which is located in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, got submerged after the tsunami. Okay, so let's read a case study: tsunami, the earth pandemonium. Okay, so let's first understand what is a tsunami, right? So, first of all, tsunami, the term tsunami is a Japanese word, right? The term tsunami is a Japanese word and it comes from the word su, meaning harbor, and nami means waves. Clear? This tsunami is a Japanese word and comes from the words of su meaning harbor and nami meaning wave. It means huge tidal waves. Clear? These waves are also known as harbor waves. Clear? These waves are also known as harbor waves. A tsunami can be caused due to underwater earthquake, volcanic eruptions, and underwater massive explosives. Clear? The tsunami can be caused due to underwater earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and underwater massive explosions. So, on 26th December 2004, a deadly tsunami occurred in the Indian Ocean. Where? In Indian Ocean due to an earthquake, and its epicenter was of the west coast of Sumatra in Indonesia. And do you know the earthquake, which measured 9 on the Richter scale, caused a series of tsunamis waves as high as 30 meter that caused devastation and destruction on the coast of countries bordering the Indian Ocean. The tsunami affected the coastal areas across South and Southeast Asia. India too, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Thailand were the countries where destruction was maximum. Even coastal areas of Malaysia, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Maldives, and East African countries of Somalia, Kenya, Tanzania, and Madagascar also suffered serious damage. If we talk about India, so in India, the coastal areas of Andhra Pradesh, right? So, where is Andhra Pradesh? So, the coastal area of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Pondicherry, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands were the worst affected. Even as I said, the Indira Point, which was the southernmost point of India. Indira Point, right? Indira Point, which was the southernmost point of India, right? And which is located in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, was completely submerged after this tsunami. Clear? And if we talk about the impact, so more than 1.8 lakh lives were lost and about 42,000 people were reported missing. The damage of property was uncountable. Houses were flattened, trees and electric poles uprooted, automobiles submerged, agriculture land flooded with the saline water. Thousands of people in the affected region lost their livelihood. Devastation caused due to the waves was beyond imagination. Right? Okay. So, move on to the next one is, so as I told you, the Indira Point with the, or we can say, was the southernmost point of India in Andaman and Nicobar Island was completely submerged after this tsunami. Now, the next is tides. Right? Now, first of all, what is tides? So, tides means periodic rise and fall of ocean water twice a day. Right? The rhythmic rise and fall of ocean water twice in a day is called tides. Now, tides are experienced in the oceans and sea especially. Clear? Tides are experienced in the oceans and the sea. Now, when the level of sea water rise, so it is called high tide. Right? When the level of water rise, so it is high tide, and when the level falls, it is low tide. Clear? High tide, that means when the level of water rises, so it is high tide, and when it falls down, it is low tide. So now second thing is, like, how are they caused? So gravitational attraction of the moon and sun. Just note down this point. Gravitational attraction of the moon and sun causes these tides. The strong gravitational pull exerted by the sun and moon on the earth's surface causes the tides. Clear? Okay. Now second thing is, what are its types? So there are two types of tides. First one is the spring tide, which is also called high tides, and the second one is the neap tide, which is also called low tide. So children, as the moon is closer to the earth, so it exerts larger gravitational pull causing high tides. As the moon is closer to the earth, so it exerts the larger gravitational pull causing high tides. And the height of the tides depend upon the relative position of the moon and the sun with respective to the earth. Okay, let's understand the type of the tide. So basically there are two types. First one is the spring tide and second one is the neap tide. So the first one is the spring, or it is also known as high tide. So during full moon and the new moon days. Clear? During the full moon and the new moon days, sun, as you can see this in this picture, here is sun. The sun, the moon and the earth are in the same line. Clear? During full moon and the new moon days, the sun, moon and the earth are in the same line, resulting in extra high tides. So these are called spring tides. Clear? During the full moon and the new moon days, the sun, the moon and the earth are in the same line, and other types are the highest. These types are called spring tides. Clear? Basically, the water of the earth closer to the moon, they gets pulled under the influence of moon's gravitational force and causes high tide. Clear? Okay. Now, next one is neap tide. Clear? Next one is the neap tide. Okay. So, when the moon is in the first and last quarter, here is the moon. When the moon is in the first and last quarter, the sun, moon are at right angles. Right? Sun and moon are at right angles and the water gets drawn in diagonal opposite directions. So this result in low tides. This results in low tides which are called neap tide. Clear? When the moon, here is moon, is in the first and the last quarter, so the ocean waters get drawn in diagonal opposite direction by the gravitational pull of sun and the moon and resulting in low tides. And these tides are called neap tides. So is it clear about the spring tides and the neap tides? Now next is, how are tides useful? So tides are very useful. First of all, tides are useful for navigation, fishing and trade. Basically, the high tides, if you talk about the high tides, so high tides help the ships to enter or leave the harbors easily, and these tides help in fishing too. Now during high tides, more fish come near the shore and helping the fishermen to get plentiful catch. Now these tides are also help to generate electricity. Basically, the rise and the fall of water due to tides is being used to generate electricity. So as the sea water gushes in the during a high tide, its energy can be tapped and used to generate electricity. India is yet to start utilizing tidal energy. Clear? So how are tides useful? First of all, it is useful for navigation, fishing, trading. Clear? And second thing is, these types are also help to generate electricity. Now, the next one is ocean currents. So, ocean current, basically the horizontal movement of ocean water in the form of streams in a definite direction is called an ocean currents. Clear? So the factors which give rise to ocean currents, and we can say that modify their courses. So here are the factors that give rise to ocean currents are, first one is the action of planetary winds. Planetary, that means trade winds, right? Second is variation in temperature and density of ocean water. Next factor is the rotation of the earth, which is very important factor. Basically this factor that give rises to the ocean currents, rotation of the earth. Next one is the shapes of the coastlines, right? So these are the factors that give rises to the ocean currents and modify their courses. Okay, so there are two types of ocean currents. First one is the warm currents and the second one is the cold currents. Clear? There are two types of ocean currents. First one is the warm currents and the second one is the cold currents. Okay, so let's first read about warm currents. So warm currents, first of all, these currents originated near the equator. Warm currents, because these are warm, so these currents originated near the equator. As we know that equator receive direct sun rays, right? So that's why the region near the equator is very warm, so the current rises is also very hot. So the currents which originate near the equator and then Here is equator at 0 degree, right? Now it originated near the equator and then moved towards the poles are called warm currents. Clear? Second thing is warm currents raise the temperature over the land surface. Basically, where these warm currents arise or originate, they raise the temperature over the land surface. Second thing is warm currents keep the seas and oceans free from the iceberg. So thus they provide safe and easy sailing in the cold regions. Clear? First it's originated from equator, then move towards the poles. Second thing is these warm currents are less dense as compared to the cold ocean currents. Next one is the warm currents raise the temperature of the coastal areas. Next, cold currents. Right. So cold currents, these currents originated from the poles and move towards the equator. Clear? The cold currents move from the poles and towards the tropic or the lower latitudes. Now, next thing is the cold currents lower the temperature of the coastal areas. Clear? Okay. So children, do you know basically the general circulation of ocean current? Here we talk about the ocean currents, right? So the general circulation of ocean current is clockwise in the northern hemisphere and anti-clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Why? Due to the rotation of the earth. Okay. So here is the map showing major ocean currents. Right. So the circulation of ocean current is clockwise. As you know that here is equator at 0 degree. Right. So north of equator, this one is the northern hemisphere and south of equator is the southern hemisphere. So the circulation of ocean currents is clockwise in the northern hemisphere. So if we talk about in northern hemisphere, so in northern hemisphere the circulation of ocean current is clockwise like this. And if we talk about the southern hemisphere, so in southern hemisphere circulation of ocean currents in anti-clockwise, right? Now why? Due to the rotation of the earth, right? Now why? Basically, as we know that our earth is rotate from west to east direction. That's why in northern hemisphere these winds that circulate is in the clockwise pattern, and in southern hemisphere these ocean currents circulate is in the anti-clockwise pattern. Clear? Now next thing is ocean currents have great influence on the climate and economic activities of an area. Where warm and cold currents meet, dense fog is produced and which reduce the visibility and it's making it risky for the ships to sail. Next thing is where the warm and cold currents meet are also the best fishing grounds in the world. Okay, again just look at this map. So red line basically it's showing the warm currents, ocean currents, and blue cold ocean currents. So as I said, where warm, so Gulf Stream, here is Gulf Stream. So Gulf Stream is the warm ocean currents and here is the Labrador. So Gulf Stream basically it's originated near the equator and here is the Gulf Labrador. Labrador is a cold ocean current and originated near the poles. So where the warm or we can say Gulf Stream and Labrador meet are also the best fishing ground in the world. Like for example, sea surrounds the Japan and eastern coast of North America. Right? Eastern coast of North America are such examples. Is it clear? So Gulf Stream is the warm ocean current and Labrador is the cold ocean currents. So where the warm and cold ocean currents meet are best fishing grounds in the world. Clear? So children, here we have completed this chapter. Now move on to the quiz time. So first question is, warm ocean currents originate from dash. So options are tropics, equator, and next option is poles. So now just tell me students, warm ocean currents originate from the equator. Now why equator? Because as we know that equator receive direct sun rays, right? So near the region of near the equator is also very warm or hot. So that's why the ocean currents rise from near the equator is also warm. Question number second. The main cause for the occurrence of tides is dash. Now options are option A, wave movement, option B, gravitational pull, and option C is planetary winds. So tell me, the main cause for the occurrence of tides is, yes, option B is gravitational pull. Clear? Now next question is huge tidal waves. Huge tidal waves cause dash. Now options are first waves, option B tsunami, and option C tides. So huge tidal waves cause tsunami. Now question number fourth, tides help to generate. So first one is water, option B is electricity, and option C is currents. So tides helps to generate, yes, option B is electricity. Now move on to the next question, question number fifth. What are streams of water moving in a definite pattern called? Now options are first is tides, option B waves, and option C ocean currents. So yes, option C is ocean currents. So ocean currents are the streams of water moving in a definite pattern. Now the next question is, what are giant waves caused by earthquake on ocean floors called? Now options are currents, option B tsunami, and option C waves. So here we talk about the huge waves, right? Yes, option B is the correct answer, tsunami. Tsunami are the giant waves used or caused by the earthquake on ocean floors. Now next question is question number 7. What does the word tsunami mean? So first of all, tsunami is a Japanese word, comes from two words. First one is su, means harbor, and nami means waves. So now just tell me, what does the word tsunami mean? Options are destruction, option B devastation, and option C harbor waves. Yes, option C is the correct answer, harbor waves. So that's it for this part, right? Now soon we will meet again in next session. Till then, have a great day and keep learning, students.